Hey guys, it's Shamsa and welcome back to my little kitchen. Today's recipe that I'm sharing with you is a perfect pick-me-up for when your body and soul is craving comfort and warmth. If you've grown up in a Desi household, you'll know immediately when I say chicken soup. Now, chicken soup is also known as chicken broth. The traditional word that we use at home is called Yakhni. Yakhni is basically chicken soup which has essential sort of like nutrients in there. Once it's cooked, it's got the salts in there, it's got the flavor from the whole spices, and it honestly brings that warmth and comfort to the soul once you drink that. And especially with the winter season in full swing, this is perfect to make. Any that you can't drink, you can freeze and take out later, but this is absolutely perfect to feed children who are at preschool like mine is and brings back bugs all the time. I religiously had this for 3 weeks when I had Iman, and honestly it helped with the internal healing after a C-section. So for postpartum, this is perfect. Now, before I run through the ingredients with you quickly on how to make this liquid gold at home, please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like content like this and turn your bell notifications on for all things cooking. So let's start. So the ingredients you're going to need is 1 whole chicken on the bone. I've had the skin removed and I've had my butcher cut it into 4 pieces. I've also left in the backbone and the neck pieces, which will add more flavour to the broth. Now, this weighs approximately 1.5 kg in weight. You can use chicken thigh, you can use drumsticks, you can even use lamb to make your broth, but today I'm showing you how to make it with chicken. I've got here 1 litre of boiled kettle water in my jug. Now in total you need 5 litres of water. The remaining 4 is waiting in my pot because I don't have a jug big enough for 5 litres. And I've got some vegetables which I prepped here. I've got here 2 carrots which weighed approximately 250 grams, and I've peeled them and I've cut them into really chunky sort of like pieces. And the reason for them being this chunky is because this is a long cook and you want them to sort of like stay in there and cook longer and for the flavour to develop. I've also got here 2 medium onions which weighed 400 grams in weight, and all I've done is just taken the skin off and just quartered them like that. I've got here 2 tomatoes which weighed 180 grams. Again, I've just quartered them. And I've got here 1 piece of ginger, fresh ginger here. This weighed 30 grams in weight, and all I've done is I've peeled it and I've taken my mortar and I've just crushed it. I've just taken the bowl and I've just popped it on top. You can use a knife and just crushed it because that's going to release more flavour into the broth. And I've got here 2 whole bulbs of garlic, and these weigh 40 grams. And I've got these spices here. These are 1 heaped tablespoon of the following. I've got coriander seeds, cumin seeds and fennel seeds. I've got here 1 teaspoon of Ajwein seeds, which are carrom seeds. Black peppercorns and cloves. I've got here 4 bay leaves, 3 black cardamom pods, 3 cinnamon sticks roughly the size of my thumb, and I've got 3 red chillies here, whole chillies. You don't have to add these in, but they do add a nice mild heat to the broth, and I would recommend. I've got here half a tablespoon of salt, and I've got 1/4 of a teaspoon of red chili powder and less than 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric powder. I'm also using 2 Maggi sort of like seasoning tablets here. Now, if you don't have these, just skip this part. With the salt, we can always add more in, which is the best thing about making a broth. You add the salt in according to your personal preference. So let's start cooking. Right, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a large pot. Now, I call mine a cauldron because it obviously is shaped like one. The bigger the pot, the better to cook this in, because you want to be able to accommodate, you know, 5 litres of water in there. 4 litres are already in there. I'm going to go in with my 5th litre. Now, it might seem like a lot of water there, but for a 1.5 to 2 hour cook, you want to have enough water in there. So once we've done that, I'm going to throw in my chicken like that, and then all of the whole spices go in. My salt and my chili powder and turmeric powder. My seasoning tablets as well, straight in both of them, and then all of the vegetables that we've prepared. So straight in like that. And now I'm going to turn my heat setting up to a 9, which is a high heat setting for my hob, and I'm just going to allow this to come up to the boil, and then once that's happened, I'll show you what you need to do next. Right, okay guys, so the broth is now boiling away, and I did actually put the lid on because, and I didn't mention it then, I totally forgot, but it does help sort of like bring the temperature up a little bit more quicker. It took approximately half an hour for it to come up to boiling point because I didn't use boiled kettle water, I just used normal tap water. And it's now bubbling away, you can see. Smells phenomenal, I can't even explain to you. It's not even ready yet, but it smells amazing. And what we're going to do now is we're going to reduce our heat setting. So we're going to put it down to a 5 to 6 on my hob, which is, I'll do it at 5 because that's a gentle sort of like simmer. And you'll see the bubbles sort of like just calming down after a bit because it's a ceramic hob. Obviously it's really, really hot at the moment, but it'll just calm down after a while. And then I'm going to pop the lid on. And I'm going to allow this to cook away now for approximately 1.5 to 2 hours. Now, that is a must because you've obviously got 5 litres of water in there. Most of it's going to get reduced down and you're going to be left with this most amazing, you know, strong flavoured broth Yakhni in there. And if you really wanted to sort of like, you know, have this and you know, quicker, then 1 hour minimum. So allow it to cook away for 1 hour and then obviously you can drink it, you can use it for whatever you wanted to, but I'm doing it for 2 hours. So leave it there, don't need to do anything to it, and just come back in 2 hours and I'll show you how it looks then. Right, okay guys, so it's been 2 hours that the broth has been cooking away, and I'm just going to remove the lid to show you. Just look at that. Absolutely wonderful. I can't even tell you how amazing the aroma is, guys. You've got to try the recipe out and, you know, smell this for yourself. But the chicken is cooked to the point where it's literally falling apart. Now, all we're going to do to this is we're going to strain off the vegetables and the meat and just set that aside and bring the broth back into the pot that we're cooking in. So I'm just going to do that and then I'll show you what you need to do next. Right, I'm just going to pop the lid on because the camera keeps steaming over. Now over here I've just strained off the chicken and vegetables, and what I'm going to do is any sort of like broth that strains down into the bowl, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to sieve it and pop it back into the big bowl here, the big pot. Now at this stage what you want to do is you want to check the seasoning in this. It will be under, but the beauty, like I said, about this chicken soup is that you can add the salt according to your personal preference, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to taste it and I'm going to add more if it needs it. So, ooh, it doesn't need a lot. There's a kick coming through from the red chillies, but it's absolutely lovely. So I'm going to go in with half a tablespoon more of salt. Again, add a little amount first, and then obviously if you need to add more, then add more in. So in that goes. Just give that a mix. Again, try it again. If you need to add more in, you can do, and that should be perfect. Probably needs a little bit more. Again, like I said, it's all down to how you want it. So probably around another half a tablespoon more in there. So in total, 1.5 tablespoons have gone in, and I think now it should be perfect to my liking. That is perfect. So with that done, what I'm going to do is, normally what I do with this is just drink it like this. That's how we normally have it, in mugs. If there's any left over, what I do is I normally portion it out and I freeze it. So whenever I'm cooking rice dishes like lamb pilau or chicken pilau or even a vegetable pilau, because I don't mind using sort of like chicken stock in my vegetable pilau because I know there's no vegetarians in my house. So I use this to flavour my rice, and this is perfect to use that because it gives the rice more flavour and depth. So when I serve this up, I'm going to shred my chicken that I've got on the side with my carrots in my bowl, and I'll have that. So there you have it, guys. My chicken soup or chicken broth, or what we normally call it at home, my mum calls it at home, Yakhni, is ready. Let me plate this up and show you guys exactly how it is. And there we have it, guys. My chicken soup, my chicken broth, Yakhni, whatever you want to call this, is ready and full to the brim here. The cup is. What I normally do is just have it on its own sometimes, or sometimes what I'd like to do is if I'm feeling a little bit more peckish, I grab some fresh crusty baguettes and I just do the rip and dip technique. So just take a little bit like this and take your soup and just dip it in and just enjoy it like this. And here goes. Oh my God, that just dripped down. That's absolutely, utterly delicious. Oh wow. I can't tell you how good this is. You know, this is one of those nostalgic memories from like when I was growing up, and it's just, it brings it back every single time I have it. So yeah. It's so simple, but so tasty. And what it gives you inside when you drink it is just, oh, the most amazing feeling ever. I'm going to take a sip of this now as well. Oh. All I did was just crack some coarse black pepper on top, and that helps if you've got any sore throats. It'll just hit the back of your throat and it'll just calm it. But honestly, that is the best thing ever. It's mild with the chilies. I've got soup dribbling down my chin as well. But it's very, very mild. The salt levels are perfect for me. Again, like I said, you can adjust them. And it's got all the flavour coming from all of the whole spices that we added, and the nutrients from the onions, the carrots, the tomatoes, the ginger, garlic as well. Best thing ever. Make a huge batch, share it with your family, enjoy it. And if there's any left over, use it to make lamb pilau. If you make the pilau recipe, just add it in as a broth rather than water and just cook it. And that's it. Perfect. You'll have flavoursome rice there for you. Guys, I hope you liked this video. If you have, please show your support and give it a thumbs up. And I'll be back soon with a new one. Till next time, take care and happy eating.